Right now, after a delayed start to the planting season, local farmers are once again battling Mother Nature during the harvest season. And Darlington underwater now for the 7th time in the last 2 years. An update on the river levels there as the school district is forced to cancel classes.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
Thanks for joining us tonight. The late start farmers got in planting crops this spring is coming full circle. Now farmers are delayed from harvesting. Gabriella Becerra joins us now with how the moisture is making it difficult for farmers to get the job done. Gabby?
Yeah, so farmers say 2019 has not been ideal, and that's because their entire timeline for planting and harvesting has been thrown off. Everything has been delayed by a couple of weeks, and moisture is to blame.
Sounds pretty good.
Time. That's what farmers say is the hardest part of 2019.
We've always been fighting weather from the time it was time to plant to side dress or maybe time our herbicide applications. All the way now through harvest.
Scott Fleming says normally he would begin planting between late April and early May, but this year planting happened weeks later.
They're still all swelled up.
And harvesting would have began a couple of weeks ago, but as of today, Fleming says they're still about a week and a half away from even starting.
There are a lot of concerns with the late harvest. The one obviously is soil conditions and compaction and all the harvest troubles associated with the moisture. But then we also get grain quality affected and yield loss through the rain. The corn could rot in the field or start germinating in the husks, and we lose yield and quality.
And with quality reductions,
so this kernel cannot be sold anymore.
Comes financial loss, according to Fleming.
It's all based on percentages, and if you have over a certain percentage of like germinated kernels or like funky rotten kernels, then you just get docked.
Fleming says he's hoping next year won't be a repeat.
We all hope that 2020 won't be a repeat of 2018 and 2019, but it's always tough to tell. With the additional rain we're seeing, all bets are off.
But for now, it's all about time.
It's just tough to find, the right time to get everything done.
Fleming says the recent storms haven't been helpful for those crops either. Over the past couple of days, he said they received about 3 inches of rain, and they're hoping not to get any more.
We all are in that boat. I'll tell you, Gabby, thank you so much. And speaking of that, let's get a look at the forecast to see what's in store for us. Here's Gary.
Well, in the short term, we're okay. Some more rain chances as we head from later Friday night into Saturday. You can see on weather track things pretty quiet around here. Skies have actually been clearing out, and Doppler track shows no precipitation over southern Wisconsin. High temperatures today were in the mid to upper 50s, so a cool fall day. And now we're in the upper 40s. A few places in the middle 40s to the north. These temperatures will continue to drop because the air is very dry. Dew point temperatures are right around 40 degrees. So look for a low in Madison of about 41 with skies partly cloudy overnight. And tomorrow will be a partly sunny and cool day with a high of 57. That's your News 3 Now First Alert forecast.
Okay, Gary, thank you. Darlington police now say they don't expect to reopen the Main Street Bridge until midnight Saturday, and that is forcing the school district there to cancel classes for tomorrow. The water from the Pecatonica River receding, but it is doing so more slowly than they would like. So the bridge, being the main access point from one side of the city, the other remains closed, and that's causing some headaches for business owners like Ann Hasty, who normally has a 5-minute commute. Today, that turned into an hour.
I was calling in some of our staff that are high school students thinking they have the day off. Well, it really comes down to who lives on what side of the river, and half of them live on the other side of the river, so there was no opportunity.
The police say people may be tempted to drive or walk through those floodwaters, but drivers should not give in to those temptations. New tonight at 10, department store Von Maur is planning to bring its second Wisconsin location to Westtown Mall in Madison, taking the space of the old Boston store. That's according to Biz Journals, which is a real estate firm, it says a real estate firm has brokered a sale for the old Boston store for $5.7 million. The company plans to raise that existing structure and rebuild. Also new tonight, the Chocolate Chop Ice Cream Company has officially filed a lawsuit against the new owners of its Atwood Avenue location after they say they were suddenly locked out of the building without notice. According to a Facebook post, the new owners are not honoring the current lease, which has forced the walk-up location to close for the remainder of the 2019 season. Wausau police say the man suspected of shooting and killing one person and injuring two others at a cemetery this morning is now in custody. Authorities did not identify him by name during a press conference this afternoon. Our Amy Reed joins us now with an update on that situation. Amy?
This investigation started with a fire around 8:15 this morning at an apartment complex in Schofield. Police say they do believe it's suspicious. About 15 minutes later, the shooting was reported about a mile away at Pine Grove Cemetery. Police say the two cases are connected. They say the shooting suspect is a former cemetery employee and lived on the street where the fire happened. The victims in this case are employees or relatives of employees at the cemetery.
There was only one shooter who used a handgun. We did recover a handgun in the area of the cemetery.
In addition to the apartment fire, the Schofield fire chief says a gas leak was also coming from a vacant house next door, prompting the evacuations of residents and two businesses nearby. That fire was put out before noon. The cause, however, has not been released. The suspect in the case, again, who they are not identifying at this moment, is expected to make his first court appearance tomorrow. Eric?
Amy, thank you. Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway says American Transmission Company is refusing to release its full investigative report into what caused the substation fires downtown this summer. According to a release from the mayor, 2 months after that fire, which happened in July, neither the city nor Dane County has been given that final report. The mayor sent a letter to ATC today listing questions that are still unanswered about the incident. Hy-Vee says Wisconsin stores were impacted by a data breach first discovered in July at both the Fitchburg and Madison locations. The Market Grill restaurant systems were impacted between January and early July. Malware could have accessed cardholder names, card numbers, expiration dates, and verification codes, but it did not copy data from all payment cards. You can find more information at hyvee.com/payment card incident. Students in the school district in Milton are facing punishment for making an offensive image. Interim Superintendent Richard Dahman sent an email to parents today notifying them of the event, but would not comment on the nature of what that offensive image was, instead saying, quote, "Our #1 priority is to maintain a safe and positive learning environment for all students. We are confident that our school district and district administration have promptly investigated this incident and addressed it." Now, this morning, we received a tip to our newsroom that students were photographed making a swastika shape with their bodies, but the district is not commenting any further than it was simply an offensive image. A young man sharing his story today about how vaping nearly took his life. 16-year-old Logan Cron is from Fort Atkinson. He is the first patient to be admitted to the pediatric intensive care unit at American Family Children's Hospital because of vaping. It happened last week when his lungs were so inflamed and filled with liquid that he couldn't breathe on his own.
I found out that I had something called chemical pneumonitis, which is caused by vaping. As a result, I came very close to dying, and I have suffered lifelong damage to my lungs. I have a long recovery ahead of me, and this experience has changed my life tremendously.
More than 25% of high schoolers say they vape. Logan's mom says he has been sharing his story with his classmates to help more people quit. 22 soldiers are injured after a military exercise went wrong in Mississippi. It happened during a nighttime parachute jump at Camp Shelby. About 650 soldiers took part in that jump about 8 p.m. last night. The soldiers were parachuting from C-130 transport planes when a gust of wind blew one group of paratroopers into trees on a remote part of the base. The Army says none of those injuries are life-threatening. The NTSB has released the names of all 7 people killed when a World War II-era B-17 bomber crash landed yesterday in Connecticut. They range in age from 48 to 75. 7 others were injured in that crash. The pilot had reported a problem shortly after takeoff. When it tried to circle around and land, the plane hit a landing instrument station, then veered to the right, crossed the runway, and then hit the de-icing facility. Wisconsin is made up of a lot of small towns. Most of us just drive right past them. A local photographer, though, is on a 2-year journey to capture the hidden gems all around small towns in Wisconsin. Cameron Gilley was a former newspaper photographer. 5 years ago, had open heart surgery. It motivated him to get out, get active, make his heart healthier, while still learning about his home state along the way.
There's all kinds of surprises. In fact, I've been surprised at the diversity, the interesting things that I have found in little small towns that you normally, when you drive by at 60 miles an hour, it doesn't look like much.
To learn more about Gilley's photography and the stories he's discovering along his journey, head on over to channel3000.com, and we have a link to his social media sites where he posts it all. Still ahead tonight at 10, your full forecast as we inch closer to our weekend. But first, a local girl is proving that Down syndrome does not define her. she defines it. Her story when we come back. The Chernobyl nuclear power plant has seen a huge increase in visitor numbers in recent years, and now travelers will actually be able to get inside the control room where the world's worst nuclear accident unfolded. Those who venture inside this highly radioactive area at the infamous Reactor 4 will be provided with white protective suits, helmets, and masks for these brief visits. And then after leaving, they will be subjected to 2 radiology tests to measure exposure. October is Down Syndrome Awareness Month. Throughout the month, we celebrate the abilities and accomplishments of those who live with it. Our Jamie Perez introduces us to a spunky 29-year-old Wisconsin woman who is going above and beyond to change the way the world sees people who live with Down syndrome.
Hi, I am Danielle.
Everyone, I'd like you to meet one of the spunkiest 29-year-olds I've ever had the pleasure of interviewing.
I am so excited to be on your channel.
And we are so excited to have you. Let me tell you about Danielle. She lights up any room she's in. She includes everyone. But most importantly, she's making the world a better place.
I am so funny.
And she's funny. Now, Danielle knows she has special needs, but doesn't let it stop her from doing some amazing things.
I don't let Down syndrome define me. It is how God made me.
Danielle is more active than most of us probably are. She's a dancer, a cheerleader, a pageant queen, the winner of the Special Olympics competitions. She water skis, and she loves people.
I like to spend time with my friends, and I love texting a lot.
Don't we all? Danielle seems to have found her purpose in life, bringing happiness to everyone around her, whether she knows them or not. She just wants everyone
to be all happy.
Yes, we all need that, don't we? Danielle's mom, Sean, said having Danielle as a daughter is a journey she never planned.
You never know what you're going to get.
But throughout her 29 years of being by Danielle's side through her adventures, she sees the difference her daughter makes on everyone, including her.
It makes me get out of my comfort zone. It makes me go and talk to different people.
Danielle knows she can do anything she sets her mind to, and she goes out of her way to make sure others know that too.
We are all different.
Danielle doesn't see our differences, though. She just sees people for people. And her confidence and self-acceptance is something we could all use a little more of.
She was telling me that people were staring at her when she was young, and I went, well, you're beautiful. And so now people come up and they said, you're beautiful. She goes, yeah, I know.
We're sharing Danielle's story because she wants the world to know that people with Down syndrome are just like us.
You are standing in front of a big audience of people. What's one message that you want everybody to know?
Text.
And because she really wants people to text her. And for those whose lives have been touched by someone who has Down syndrome.
See the people first and include them in small things, large things. She just doesn't want to be in a group with special needs. She wants to be out there in the community.
Even beyond our own community, we could all be a little bit more like Danielle. In Madison, Jamie Perez.
Inclusion helps everybody.
News 3 Now.
She is amazing. To follow Danielle's journey, we have a link to her Facebook page on our website. She posts often about her accomplishments and the new adventures that she pursues. We turn now to your forecast. Meteorologist Gary Canalti. It's a little chilly out there today. That's a nice little smack in the face of fall, but hey, it was dry, right?
Yeah, exactly. When it's chilly this time of year, usually it is dry, and tomorrow will be another dry day. It'll be cool. But the problem is the rain that we've already received over the last month or so is still causing a number of rivers to be above flood stage. Of course, the Pecatonica River, Rock River now above flood stage. So we're seeing a lot of rivers and streams at bankful or above flood stage, but right now, no rain. It's nice to see the radar without any precipitation on it. In fact, we widen out the view, and there's very little out there, just a few sprinkles across northern portions of Michigan. But we are looking for some showers from later tomorrow night into Saturday. Showers, maybe even a few isolated thunderstorms. Latest computer model forecast shows about 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain over southern Wisconsin. These amounts are down a little bit from the very latest computer model run, with the heaviest amounts of rain staying out to the west in Minnesota and Iowa, where amounts could be closer to 1 inch. Now, that is for tomorrow night and Saturday. Then the next chance of rain will be on Thursday with a fairly strong cold front that will have even a bigger push of cool air behind it. On Thursday into Thursday night, the GFS computer model showing a general 1.5 inches to almost 2 inches of rain over Wisconsin, with heavier amounts down to the south across northern Illinois. That would not be good news. But the European computer model showing much less in the way of precipitation across Wisconsin, the heavier amounts on the other side of Lake Michigan, pretty much into Michigan and Indiana. Hopefully that will work out. But you can see those models are in disagreement. Of course, we're a week out, so we're going to keep a close eye. We're going to get some rain on Thursday. The question is just how much. Live view from the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison. No fog tonight. The air is very dry, and it's cool, too. Our high today, 59 degrees. The low temperature is now the current reading of 49 degrees. Skies are mainly clear. The humidity at 71%. With a dew point temperature of 40. That's about how cool our temperatures will get tonight. High temperatures today didn't get out of the 40s in northwestern Wisconsin. Didn't get out of the 50s except for far southeastern Wisconsin. And the 60s pretty much confined to Milwaukee and areas to the south into northern Illinois. But now temperatures are dropping into the 40s here. We're seeing low to mid 40s back into Minnesota with some pockets of 30s. And with the dew point temperatures dropping into the 40s and 30s, we're seeing the potential for a cool night tonight. The National Weather Service has issued frost advisories from northwestern Iowa through the western half of Minnesota and for the arrowhead of Minnesota for tonight for the possibility for a widespread frost. Now, as we look at weather track, our upper level winds are now becoming a little more westerly. They've been from the southwest. This jet stream is starting to flatten out, and it's starting to settle southward. That's starting to allow the cool air to work its way southward. So while we're still seeing these impulses of energy coming northeastward, they don't have a lot of moisture associated with them because this high pressure system has really dried things out across much of the Midwest. High temperatures today stayed in the 40s up in North Dakota and northern Minnesota, while temperatures on the other side of the Ohio River, look at that, 95 degrees in Cincinnati. But you can see right now, those temperatures have really dropped. We're seeing pockets of 30s already across western Minnesota and the eastern Dakota. So our forecast for tonight, Generally partly cloudy, cooler, low temperature dropping to 41 by morning. Tomorrow, look for a partly sunny and cool day with a high temperature of 57. On future track, very quiet for tonight. Low temperatures dropping into the lower 40s here, maybe a couple of 30s to the north and west of Madison. High temperatures tomorrow in the upper 50s. Tomorrow night, the clouds start to move in. Showers will develop by morning, and then we'll see showers and isolated thunderstorms on Saturday. High temperatures generally in the upper 50s. As we take a look at the rainfall amounts, the highest precipitation amounts toward the Mississippi River, lesser amounts from Madison eastward, quarter to a half-inch in most areas. 7 to 10 day forecast. Again, dry weather Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. That'll be good. Showers and a few thunderstorms Thursday. That has to be watched. And then after that, we turn even cooler. By Saturday morning of the following weekend, we could see some patchy frost here in Madison with temperatures dropping in the upper 30s.
Getting to be that time of the year, October. But yeah, like you said, as long as we dry out, I think we can deal with a little
The more
bit of
dry
cooler
days, the
stuff.
better.
Gary, thank you.
Sure.
Our old buddy Randall Cobb gets ready to face his old Packer teammate Sunday in Dallas. We'll have a story on that, looking ahead to the game next in sports.
When the Packers play the Dallas Cowboys Sunday afternoon in Dallas at 3:25, it'll be a reunion for one of the Packers' most popular players. Number 18, Randall Cobb, who played 8 productive seasons in Green Bay before becoming a free agent and signing with Dallas. This season, Cobb has 14 catches for the Cowboys, caught his first touchdown pass of the season with his new club against the Giants a couple of weeks ago. Cobb is downplaying facing his former team.
What is this, week 5? It's just week 5, man. You know, another game, another opportunity for us to go show what we're all about. When you come into the league, you really don't know what to expect. You know, you kind of think of it as college, like, oh, I'll be here for a certain amount of time. And, you know, as you get older, you realize that this league changes faces, it changes, players change, coaches change, things happen. It's a part of the business.
There's a Thursday night NFL game in Seattle tonight. The Los Angeles Rams lead the Seahawks 29-24, fourth quarter. Russell Wilson has 3 touchdown passes so far for Seattle. We have a couple of girls volleyball matches tonight. Monona Grove visits Edgewood. The Crusaders ranked 5th in Division II. First set, Edgewood's Ella Foti with a back set slide for Allie Barth for the kill. The Crusaders take the first set. Second set, Monona Grove's Maddie Davis, Trawler, to Alyssa Majeski, who tips it over for the kill. Silver Eagles have the early lead there, but the Crusaders have too much for the Silver Eagles. Natalie Ring with the hit down the line for the point. Final score, Edgewood 3, Monona Grove nothing. And in the Big 8, Sun Prairie tries to keep pace with first place Verona in the conference standings. The Cardinals are at Madison La Follette tonight. First set, La Follette's Alba Garcia with a deep serve for an ace. And the Lancers go up early there. Later on, though, Sun Prairie's Allie Siri to Carly McNabb. She gets the slam for the kill. Cardinals take the lead. Then McNabb with the jump serve, and it just rolls over the tape for the ace. Final score there, Sun Prairie 3 and La Follette nothing. Our Prep Mania game of the week is Monona Grove at Oregon. Tomorrow night, we're live on channel3000.com at 7 with the Silver Eagles and Panthers in a Badger South Conference battle. Well, the Brewers would have been playing tonight, but they lost the wild card game in Washington Tuesday, so the playoffs continue without them. Game 1 of the NLDS, St. Louis at Atlanta, 3-3 in the ninth. Marcell Ozuna, playing in his first ever playoff game, hits a 2-run double down the left field line. The Braves hit 2 homers in the bottom of the ninth, but fall just short. Final score, Cardinals 7, Braves 6. The other NLDS game tonight that would have been the Brewers. 7th inning, Dodgers lead the Nationals 2-0 in Los Angeles. And women's soccer tonight, Michigan at Wisconsin for first place in the Big Ten. Here's the big play in the game. Lauren Rice for Danny Rhodes, and the Badgers' leading scorer heads it in for her 11th goal of the season. Rhodes later scores again. The Badgers stay undefeated in the conference. Final score, Wisconsin 2, Michigan nothing. We'll be right back.
Finally tonight, we're getting a literal bird's eye view from high above the Alps. This is what the mountain range looks like from an eagle's view. That's Victor, a trained eagle soaring high above the Alps in Europe last month with a camera mounted between his wings. The Eagle Wings Foundation and sustainable watchmaker Chopard organized the flights to raise awareness about climate change. Environmentalists have warned about melting glaciers in the Alps. Pretty amazing viewpoints there.
Yeah, there's a glacier that's about ready to break off
We
one
had
of
some
the mountains.
video of that from Mont Blanc, and you're heading over that way not too long from now.
London and France next week and the week after. So, but hopefully the weather will stay quiet here. It's quiet tonight. Temperatures upper 40s to lower 50s, but with the dew point temperatures around 40, that's about how cool we're going to get tonight. I'm looking for lows in the lower 40s here in Madison. Highs upper 50s tomorrow. Showers, thunderstorms Saturday and Thursday. The rest of the time should be dry.
Gary, thank you. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10. Have a great night.